I'm doing my sharing on TikTok. If you're on YouTube or anywhere else seeing this, that's why my head is facing down like this. And also for anyone on TikTok, that's exactly what I'm doing right this minute, is sharing. Because sharing is caring. Okay. Hello, how are you? How are you doing, love? 111 on the timer there. That was a pretty good start, starting it all and getting it shared out in 1 minute and 11 seconds. Perfectly on time. So I'm just going to give it a minute because I know it takes a little bit before the invitations go out. Hello. For people to arrive. So I'm just going to give a minute before we start, and we'll talk about the things we're going to talk about on our beautiful Friday, December 5th. Hello, hello. Say hi, and where are you from? Oh, my tea's not quite hot yet. Yeah. Hello, hello. So rock back and forth here. We'll give it just a minute and then I'll start. I guess I could start by talking about the fact that what I'm going to cover today is going to be about true sidereal. Hello, Jess. How are you, love? Love to you. I'm going to be talking about the celestial lineup for today and into the weekend. The only transits that are going to happen this weekend are the moon through some signs. So I'll talk about those, but I'm going to talk about astrology from true sidereal and a Christic sense. And hi, Carol. And I'm also going to talk about embodiment. And it's perfect time to talk about embodiment because the moon's in Scorpio and the moon's in Taurus and we just had a full moon in Taurus. So that's what I'm going to talk about here. It has been a long time. I've missed you. I see your posts. You're doing well, I hope. It looks like it is, but it's different, right? Looking and also knowing. So I do hope that you're doing well. Yeah, Vicky. Okay, so we're going to get started and we're going to talk about the celestial makeup for today. If you're watching on TikTok, please like. If you're watching actually anywhere, please like the live, share it if you can, and interact in whatever way feels aligned with you. All right. Here we go. Let's talk about the lineup for the weekend. Starting, I have it on my other page, my notes, and bring my notes into a different spot so I can see them better. Perfect. Oh. There we go. Okay. So today is Friday, December 25th, 2025, and this is your true sidereal astrology actual sky placements. And this is your true sidereal Christic sky report. The current planetary positions is that the sun is in Ophiuchus, the moon is in Taurus, moving into Auriga at 1949 Mountain Time, so it would be whatever time you are when that Mountain Time is happening. Mercury is in Libra, Venus is in Scorpio, Mars is in Ophiuchus, Jupiter is in Gemini, Saturn is in Aquarius, Uranus is in Taurus, Neptune is in Pisces, and Pluto is in Capricorn. So our weekend Christic outlook is, this is the day following the true Taurus full moon, a sacred pause where light begins to turn inward again. Integration begins. The revelations of the full moon are still echoing through your body and your field. So I have two lives going on, one up here, one down here, and I have birds outside. So if you see me looking that way, it's because of the birds. There's a blue jay right now. He's cute. He's a big dude, eating eating a bunch of things. But anyway, I have two lives going, so I'll be looking between the two screens. So you're not being asked to push forward. You're being asked to receive what is already landed. In the Christic path, the day after the full moon is a powerful time of embodiment. And when we're talking about embodiment, Taurus is the king or queen of embodiment. It is the sign that represents embodiment. So the fact that we just had that full moon, and then we're also in the embodiment phase of that full moon, we're getting a lot of embodiment today. So while the full moon is a mirror, today is the activation of choice. It's a moment. It's a moment when what was revealed must now be lived, right? That's embodiment. Embodiment is about living the truth. Hello, love. It's about living the truth. It's not about just, thinking it. You have to actually take action. So, this is where that knowledge becomes the being, right? The embodiment phase is where you take the information that you've learned, that the information that you've gathered, or, in the case of like if you're doing healing, maybe you've learned some practical tools. This moment would be the time when you took it from that knowing or that information and you put it into the practical. So you actually start doing it. So you're getting up in the morning and you're doing your breath work. You're connecting with your higher self, right? You're sitting and giving the opportunity for silence. So the sun in Ophiuchus amplifies this theme, healing through truth and rising through the shadows, restoring the wholeness in your sacred life. That's what Ophiuchus is helping us do, because Ophiuchus is about resurrection. This solar current brings deep remembrance of your original blueprint. It is a frequency of divine reclamation. Thank you for the likes, by the way, you guys. Likes help. Unfortunately, I don't design the algorithm. It's just the way that it works. So the tapping on the screen and getting likes and comments and sharing and all of that is definitely appreciated and valued. So we also, this weekend, we have, like I said, the only thing that's transiting this weekend is the moon, and it transits from Taurus into Auriga, which is a constellation, not one that we tend to document in mainstream astrology. So this weekend, it moves from grounded Taurus into Auriga, which is a cosmic constellation on Friday night, into Curious Gemini early Saturday, and then finally on Sunday in the afternoon, it transits into Cancer. So we're moving through a lot of different emotions this weekend because the moon governs your emotional landscape. So while it's in each of these, as it's phasing through each of those signs, we're going to feel those subtle shifts or the differences in our emotional landscape. Each movement is offering a subtle shift in how we process, feel, and embody our truths. That's what the moon is helping us do. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. So Friday, December 5th, with the moon in Taurus transiting into Auriga, we have, as the full moon energy begins to wane, Taurus still cradles us in that stabilizing calm. This is a day to tend to your nervous system and your root energy. You want to really ground your energy at this time. So let your body continue to integrate what the full moon had illuminated. And as the moon transits into Auriga, which is also known as the charioteer, By evening, there is an invitation to take the reins of your emotional journey. So you're going to get into the driver's seat. Sorry. This is the moment to move from receiving to guiding. So let the earth study you and then choose your direction. That's what Auriga is going to ask you. On Saturday, December 6th, it moves into Gemini. So the moon enters Gemini early Saturday morning at my time, 4:24 a.m., awakening the mind and amplifying communication. Gemini's frequency is one of curiosity, its versatility, and its intellectual play. So this is a beautiful day, Saturday, to explore journaling or writing out your new ideas, engaging in aligned conversations, or receiving in downloads and intuitive insights. So stay present, let your thoughts be a mirror rather than a master. Okay, so your thoughts are just mirroring things to you. You can engage or not engage. And look at them and disregard the ones that you know are noise, right? There's lots of it that's just noise. On Sunday, December 7th, the moon transits into Cancer in the afternoon, like at almost 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So by late afternoon Sunday, the moon settles into Cancer, initiating a return to the emotional body. The moon is at home in Cancer. That's its sign, right? Is its home sign, or the sign that governs Cancer is the moon. If we were the planet that governs Cancer is the moon. There we go. So this is very familiar territory, and it just means a double dose, right? This is very much that emotional body. So Cancer's medicine is one of nurturing, remembrance, and soul homecoming. I like to call Cancer the mom energy, right? It's really that feminine energy. It's the really protective, nurturing energy of a mom. So this is a sacred time to connect with your inner child, to nourish your heart space, to rest and soften before the week ahead, and let your inner waters be held. So it's a beautiful time for slowing down, connecting, being in that really soft space. So have a real gentle Sunday this weekend, and harness the energies that are already there. So our week, so for the Saturday, Sunday, the embodiment prompt for you is, throughout this 3-day lunar arc, ask yourself, what is anchoring me, Taurus? What truths am I ready to explore? Which is a little bit of Gemini energy. It's also the Ophiuchus energy. And what part of me needs love and gentleness? Very odd, Mom. I like your name. So allow the moon's sacred rhythm to lead you through earth, air, and water, because those are the signs that we're transiting through, with presence. Not with some presence. I was thinking about how the last question related to Cancer. So the first one is, what is anchoring me, relates to Taurus. The second one, what truth am I ready to explore, is really Gemini energy. And then what part of me needs love and gentleness is Cancer energy. So harness those energies and allow the moon's sacred rhythm to lead you through the earth, air, and water with presence. You are not static. You are a symphony of sacred shifts, right? We're constantly moving. We're really more fluid than we give ourselves credit for. It's gotten to the right temperature. My tea got a little cold. So you are the charioteer of your soul. Steer it with love, rest it in truth, and move with grace. And that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about for our celestial check-in. I know it's a Friday, so you may not want a lot of heavy information, but we're also going to talk about embodiment, because I like to put the two of them together. And if you're interested in true sidereal and you're interested in Christic astrology, stay tuned, because I am planning to teach a Christic astrology course, which is true sidereal, free of distortion, is why it's Christic astrology, but free of distortion. And I will be teaching that on starting March 20th, so on spring equinox. All right. So the light of the full moon in Taurus has settled, and today we enter the most important part of any lunar cycle, and that's the integration phase. So full moons are the revelation. The day after is the embodiment day. So yesterday may have brought clarity, emotion, release, truth, or softness. Today, those insights begin to take shape inside of you. Birdies. So the day after the full moon stretch the energetic body. They pull the truth to the surface. They illuminate what has been ignored and or avoided and or quietly whispering within. The day after, however, is when everything reorganizes. Your energy field, it starts to reshape, your emotions settle, your nervous system recalibrates, and your body decides what stays and what goes. So today is not about action per se, it's about integration. And sometimes integration isn't in the form of an active thing, it's just sitting and being. So Taurus teaches embodiment, which is why this is kind of an extra bonus, because we have Taurus energy that we're harnessing the day after the full moon, which is the embodiment day. So we're getting that double dose of embodiment, where Taurus is about alignment, and Taurus remembers your worth. Taurus knows that you were born worthy. You don't have to do anything, be anything. You don't have to make anything. You just are worthy always. So today so with Taurus teaching, your body remembers oftentimes what your mind forgets. And that's why we get within trauma, we get the concepts of the issues are in your tissues, or the body keeps the score, stuff like that. Because we really do, when we haven't processed those emotions or other things, that energy stays trapped within our body and it creates issues for us. So it's important for us to deal with them, whether those issues are expressed in ways of disease or illness, or it's expressed in ways of having like a lack of confidence, not understanding your place in the world, having an inability to regulate your emotions. There's all kinds of ways that they come out, right? In different aspects between thoughts, feelings, spiritual energy, and so on. So today your body is holding the truth revealed last night, and you might feel softer, more grounded. Hi, Petito Sweet. More grounded, more aware of your needs, more connected, more ready to release old patterns, more clear about what you cannot carry forward, and more certain about what you value. So these sensations are not random, they are evidence of inner change. Am I bringing? So our Oversoul embodiment after a full moon, your Oversoul speaks more clearly the day after a full moon. The emotional charge has lowered and the clarity remains. Your Oversoul embodiment today feels like, I know what is right for me. I know what I am done with. Sorry. Somebody was just trying to be inappropriate for no reason. So I know what is right for me, just like I did right there. Somebody came in and wanted to make comments like I'm a boy. Hi, Swan's Arm, how are you? He's saying I have a boy face. And it's like, okay, block, because there's just no point, right? I create my boundaries, right? I know what I am done with silly comments like that, or someone that's just trolling, right? Just done with that. Right? Right. Yeah, I look so manly. So manly. But that's not the point. It's just that's why I just completely just blocked. I didn't even get into a big engagement with him, just block him. I know what I need. That's the other energy we're getting today. I know what I want to feel. And I know what version of me is ready to emerge. So this is beautiful energy. And this is not dramatic. It is steady. It is calm. It is grounded. Right? Exactly. Zero energy for it. I'm just, bye. And that's the oversoul settling into the body. It's very grounded, very calm, very steady energy. And it knows exactly where you're headed and what's good for you and what you want and what you need and what your boundaries are. Right? So what is the ego doing the day after a full moon? Let's talk about the ego. So yesterday, the ego might have felt overwhelmed. Right? It might have felt overwhelmed, but today it might be feeling somewhat different. Maybe today it's quiet. It's not defeated. It's just sitting maybe in the side or to the back, because your oversoul is in the driver's seat. And maybe it's not even that, it's just less reactive today, because the full moon was the pinnacle of the energy. And now we're in that integration phase and things are easing off. So because the body has already made decisions, the ego has not yet caught up with. It doesn't know what to do. Your ego's like, what? What happened yesterday? What did we do yesterday? What happened on that full moon? I don't understand. I'm just a little bit confused. But not in a bad way. The ego is like, wait, are we changing? And your oversoul simply says, yes, beloved, it is time. So what should you be doing today, the day after a full moon? Today is about nourishment. So I'm a little bit later today starting because I was in a nourishment phase, and part of my nourishment phase was having conversation with my bestie. It's not a really super productive day today. It's not a day to be planning and making big future goals or making decisions or anything like that. The 3 questions that you need to ask yourself, or that you can use to guide your day, the day after a full moon. The day after a full moon. Making sure everyone's listening. What truth did my body reveal last night? I hope you were listening to your body, because you should be. If you're not listening to your body, or you're not connected with your body, then you're missing out on intuition, because that's how intuition speaks to you, is through your body. Second question, what am I no longer willing to carry? Put it down. Put it down. Let it go. Release it. Right? And just speak the boundaries. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to be violent. You just have to be firm and direct, and just say it and stand on it. And that's a boundary. And the people that don't abide by your boundaries, the people that cross over your boundaries, they don't respect you. They don't respect your boundaries, and your boundaries are you. That's where your edge is where you've placed a boundary. 3, what version of me feels more real today? And see what answers come up. Just let them rise throughout the rest of the day. There's absolutely no rush. I do a thing where every morning I meditate and I connect with my higher self, and I receive messages, and sometimes, I channel things at that time as well. And the messages seem to, well, they're always the perfect message for sure. You're always right where you're meant to be. Absolutely. And the one thing that I can tell you is the trying, you don't have to try. You just have to do. You just have to be, right? You just have to be. Sorry, Cass got moved for a moment, so I was waiting for him to start barking, wondering what we might be seeing. All right, so we're going to do an embodiment practice because I like to do those on every live, so get ready. First, we're going to start with placing a hand on our heart, and we're going to close our eyes. You can place both hands too. I'm just going to place both hands. Close your eyes. Take a nice breath in through your nose all the way down into your tummy. And then let it out nice and long and slow. As you take this moment to connect, focus on the space that comes up as you lengthen your breath. And just repeat that breath in through your nose, into your tummy, filling all the way up. And then out through pursed lips like you're blowing out candles, but nice and slow and long. When the noise quiets and you connect to your body, ask yourself, what truth from yesterday wants to stay? What truth wants to integrate into my body today? What truth wants to shape my choices moving forward? So what truth wants to shape my choices moving forward? Feel the answer. Don't think about it. This is embodiment. This is how wisdom becomes a life. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back. You can share if you'd like what came up for you in that moment. Salut. Tea time. Tea time. I had to put it down for a minute. Switch hands. Okay, well, while you type your answers about what came up for you, I'm going to continue on. And in the event that nobody wants to share, because I get that too, okay? I get that too. But if you are feeling brave to share, then let me know. All right. What is this full moon? I was just giving an extra minute. I was like, wait. I have a couple other things to talk about since I have a pause right now, since we have a pause after the embodiment practice. Number one, tomorrow is my birthday. This is birthday eve. And for my birthday, what I would really love is for people to donate or share the posts from Hugs for Homeless. But if you can donate to Hugs for Homeless because you've got some money and you're feeling like being generous and helping people who are disenfranchised, who are, maybe sometimes forgotten about, and who are battling some very cold temperatures, In Alberta, we are currently, where I am, -12 with the bare temperature, but it feels more like -18. I think overnight it's going to go below -20. It's quite cold, and that's Celsius, guys, not that's Celsius. So that's my thing for that. I would really appreciate if you have the ability to be generous, if you can give to Hugs for Homeless, so we can get backpacks, which are the hugs. So we fill backpacks full of essentials, essentials like toothbrush and toothpaste and, shampoo and socks and mittens and a toque or a beanie, a blanket, a water bottle, like all kinds of things, chapstick, like all kinds of things that can really help make life just a little bit better for someone who's out in the cold. So if you do have the ability to give and can be generous, I would really appreciate it. And you can donate at hugsforhomeless.com. So yeah, that was my one thing. It's my birthday tomorrow. And I got to rope in and talk about Hugs for Homeless, which I'm always happy to talk about. I'm very delighted to talk about hugs. I am looking for special people for hugs. I'm looking for 8 special people, in fact. And because we are wanting to grow. We have kits that we're distributing into community, and some of the stuff that we want or are going to be needing help with, some of the things could be just maybe the way that you can help is by disseminating information. So when I have a post that is about hugs, you're sharing it to a huge community that you have. Maybe you're someone that wants to be a donor or a sponsor, or maybe you're someone that even owns a company, that maybe you're somebody that has a company of socks and you want to donate. I don't know. There's lots of different ways. Other ways that you can help is you're somebody that's really good at researching grants and stuff like that, and you can help align us with grants that would be beneficial for the company. You could be someone that's maybe just a social media guru. You're really great. Like, there's lots of different ways to help. It doesn't have to be physically in person, putting together backpacks or going down into the homeless community and distributing them. But not necessarily a part of what you would be doing. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a donation drive. So instead of just getting, like some of the things that are going to be going to people would just be nice, gently used, is what we new or gently used items, and we'll be conducting that at some point. So we'll need help with that for sure when that starts happening. So what this full moon is preparing for you is consistency. And this is, you get to consistency when you live your truth every day. You don't just start something for a little bit. Sorry. that blocks, like, because I had blocked that user. It was still sitting up on the side. And by the way, sorry, thank you, Jess, for wishing me a happy birthday. I appreciate that. So, and it's tomorrow, just in case you don't need to, it's not today. Just put that out there. So this moon is preparing you for consistency, for truth that is lived daily, for a life that matches your inner worth. Sometimes, and I can tell you about that from lived experience, right? I used to think maybe I'll just have a van. Maybe I'll just travel the world and I'll just live in a van. Because like, maybe that's all that, because I would have took anything. I was literally like, I will take the scraps. I will take anything. I don't want to seem like I'm, greedy, and, I'm all of these things that your belief system and your traumas and all of that stuff and society pushes on you. So you've formed these things, and you have to work through them to understand that it's okay to have desires. It's okay to want a nice home. It's okay to want things, right? There's nothing wrong with having desires. It's just a matter of making wise decisions when with those desires, right? So it's not about overconsumption or just buying things for the dopamine. It's understanding, like, if you're somebody that paints, I bought myself a dryer, a craft heat gun for crafts, because I paint watercolors, and it's really nice when you can dry it with a tool, so then you can paint the next layer and not have to wait for it to dry on its own. That would be a purchase that would be in line with someone that really loves watercolors, and does them a lot. That would be a wise purchase to make. It would be in alignment. But if you're just buying a bunch of disposable things that you don't like, you don't really use, that break in no time, then all we're doing is contributing to the issue that we have in the world, which is garbage, right? We have far too much being created because we're consuming far more than we need to. So this is preparing you for a life that matches your inner worth. And that's saying, like, don't be afraid to ask for the things that are in alignment for you and that you want, right? If you want a cozy cottage on 40 acres, then that's what you want. That's in alignment with you. Go get it. Don't think that you can't have it. Believe in yourself. Go get it. This is also preparing you. The moon is preparing you for alignment that does not break under pressure, and for boundaries that feel natural instead of forced. These are big things. I love my boundaries. And I like us, putting them out there and saying, okay, this is the boundary and that's it. It makes things very clear, right? Nothing's worse than, confusion and fogginess and uncertainty and I don't knows and what is this here, right? When it's absolutely clear, it's perfect. Perfect. It's the way that it should be, clear. I have to turn my heater down so that it doesn't overheat my tea. Overheat my tea. So it's preparing you to stop abandoning yourself, and it is preparing you to return to yourself. Me too. Thanks, Diana. I love my hair like this too. I did it yesterday for the first time, and I was like, I don't know, I might just wear my hair like this every day. I feel kind of like a little bit like a teddy bear, and I know that sounds like it's just hilarious. I just love them. It makes me happy, and that's all I care. Everybody else could think it looked absolutely ridiculous, but I absolutely love it. So I just don't care. So this is a turning point moon. All right. This is a turning point moon. So when you are in my field, you feel your oversoul more clearly. You feel grounded, you feel safe, you feel seen, you feel capable of becoming who you always knew you could be. You just have to ask some of the people that are around me, right? They would agree with this 100%. But this is the gift of embodiment, because as I'm embodied, that feels very clear, very calm, very grounded, and that's what you feel through that. And this is also what Taurus teaches, and this is what I teach. And I'm going to be teaching it January 9th. January 9th, Bridge to Light Phase 2, which is all about embodiment. So let tonight be the moment of truth, not a dramatic shift, not a forced reinvention, just truth in the body, just truth in the breath, and truth in your choices. The Taurus full moon lights the path. Your oversoul walks it with you. Okay? It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. So what is everyone's plans for Saturday, Sunday, and the rest of their Friday evening? What happened for you yesterday with the full moon? Did you celebrate it? Let's talk a little bit. I've got a few minutes for sure that we can hang out. Oh yes, you can. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? And hi, Miss M. I saw you come in. How are you doing, hon? So many birds outside. It's so cold here, guys. It is freezing. I'm going to put on another outfit just to go outside and walk my dog this afternoon. It's very, very chilly. So again, to summarize, I'm going to summarize what we talked about this live, but I am going to talk about it is my birthday eve. And I would love it if you would go to hugsforhomeless.com and donate. A hug can change a life. Each backpack costs between $100 and $120 Canadian to put together. And then we distribute them into the communities to really help those who are out in the cold receive some warmth and some dignity and some hope. Love you, Jasmine. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for hanging out with me. I missed you. It's been a bit. So yeah. Okay, summary of what we covered today, and then I'm going to take off because I did start a little bit late, but like I said, I listened to my heart, and my heart said, can keep talking with your girlfriend. And then now I'm here, and that's that. That is that. Okay, so let's look at our recap. So today's transmission opened the sacred window of post-full moon embodiment, where insight becomes integration and truth becomes lived experience. We explored what actually happens the day after the full moon, that the full moon reveals the day after, reorganizes. And as the moon continued through Taurus and prepares to enter Auriga, we ground into this space of anchored remembrance, where the nervous system settles, the body speaks, the oversoul leads, the ego softens. We spoke about how the full moon stretched the energetic body, why the day after holds the most potent clarity, the specific ways the body integrates truth, how to recognize oversoul embodiment and stillness, calm knowing, and inner yes, and how the ego relaxes when it realizes the body has already chosen. The transition from Taurus into Auriga's chariot, inviting you to gently begin steering from embodiment, not urgency. We offered a live embodiment practice to help you feel what truth from yesterday still wants to stay. And we closed with a message that transformation doesn't require force, it just requires presence. So let today be a day of softness. Let today be a day of truth. Let today be a day your oversoul speaks clearly and your ego says yes. And there you have it. That's our recap. And now you can just hang out and talk about whatever. I've covered the topics that I wanted to cover. Oh, thank you, love. Appreciate you. And I love the way that you wrote it. Happy celebration. I don't really know. I'm going to do some reflection, right? I think today is a really great day for me. And everybody on your birthday eve, you should be spending that day reflecting upon the year that has just come on. And then, tomorrow, even that day can be a bit reflective as well, but we're moving, you're turning, another solar return, right? So yeah. And I'm not going to go live tomorrow. I did last Saturday, but that was only because there was a big transition that I wanted to talk about. And that was when the sun went into Ophiuchus. And I felt like it was a good one to throw up an extra live for. But yeah, what are your plans for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Or for the rest of today, I guess, the rest of Friday. Nothing? Nobody's doing anything? Nobody wants to share? Everyone's feeling a little bit shy? Alrighty then. Well, on that note, I'm going to sign out and go and walk my dog. I love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, and I will talk with you guys later.